Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Star Citizen FM. Star Citizen FM is a fan-run show run by yours truly, Dr. Hawk. So come join me for episode 34 as we cover some pretty interesting news that happened this week. So a quick public service announcement. This is going to be a fairly focused episode. I'm not exactly sure you'll be long enough or short enough, but I wanted to use episode 34 as the highlight for Gamescom. To those of you that don't know, CIG was over in Cologne, Germany, premiering the first reveal of the Hangar app. And I have some video which was kindly taken by both CIG and a few other members that have cell phone footage. And we'll be trying to pour over that and see what we can pick apart from the live stream itself. So starting off the live stream was a nice warm applause from the crowd, which by the way, you guys are really awesome, man. I'll try to turn up the volume a little bit here for some of these video clips coming up, but just the crowd greeting the crew at Cologne was quite something. You guys are pretty awesome, and I'm pretty sure this goes a long way to encourage them to work harder on SC and do the best they can, because you know what, nobody's saying any ill will. They were just happy and cheering and screaming and joyous fanatical praise, so good on you guys. CIG opened up with both thank yous and praises, with everyone including Ben Lesnick, Rob Irving, Sandy, who I think was a big hit, Wingman Chris Roberts. Pretty much everyone who went down there at some point had some screen time, and if they didn't, I'm pretty sure we give a clap for you too. Following both praise and thank yous, we got to actually see what it's like to experience technical difficulties during a live event. Chris had actually brought up a fan. I don't know if he was being told to log in with his user details or one supplied by Chris, but I will play an above video clip here. This poor guy is already a meme on the forums, so if we can get a name, buddy guy, and find out who you are, I'd like to just maybe talk to you on the show, and because I don't think anyone would remember their password with that many excited, happy people. But anyways, the video clip.
Yeah, I have to apologize. This is actually the whole problem. We have the entire press. Okay, I'm going to go back to the default one so I know what the password is. It doesn't have password.
That poor guy, man. That was like the utter look of frustration and sadness, but is to be expected from something like this. And remember, in my last episode, as I said to you guys, when the Hangar app is released on Thursday, they did have to push it back just a bit. There's going to be a lot of moments like this, so we can't get frustrated. Not to say that this guy doesn't deserve it. It was in the heat of the moment. Don't get frustrated, help them out, and throw those bugs at the forum. The more they have, the better. Just because this is an alpha, you can't use that as an excuse. This is the perfect time to criticize, work on, build upon. Apply yourself and fix it. But anyways, so after Chris had sat down and tried one of his own magical methods, logged on to see the Hangar, and again, you guys are awesome, man. That chanting is actually pretty much at every major event that happened during the live stream. And here we go. There you go. This is the Hangar app. Sorry, the immediate thing I noticed right away is I still love the fact that Chris is playing this with an Xbox controller. To anyone that pretty much has been an avid PC gamer or a PC purist, I don't know how this must feel for them, but for me, I'm looking at mine right now, and I'm actually kind of excited to walk around the Hangar using an Xbox controller. I got no words for that. Moving on, right away, the most apparent thing that is visible is when he switches to third person, and we get to see the sexy efforts of the motion capture studio that they have been using. Right here, it looks like it's being applied very well. Barring maybe a few clipping issues and that happen on later during the stream, and you might see them depending on what video clips I use. It looks really good. Ladders, the crouching that's visible, everything. It's really smooth. It doesn't look like something from Madagascar, or, they're bouncing around. And for this early in the stage, guys, that's pretty damn impressive. So, slow golf clap. Chris, Eric, Rob, everyone there that's taken part in that. That's damn impressive. So, yeah, no words can be used to describe the epicness of the smooth motion capture. Following the fancy motion capture and walking around, though, Chris did actually go to preview the Aurora that was on demo here in the first demonstration of the Hangar app. You get to see a nice animation of the door opening, the ladder extending, and again, some very nice smooth animations with the character climbing in. And this is actually, I believe, one of our first views of the Aurora inside that hasn't been a press release, like somebody's actually controlling it. The animation getting in, sitting down in your seat, it's all very smooth and fluid, and I can't really criticize it at this point, because for a pre-alpha, as it's so been described, it looks pretty good. Like, there's minor issues here and there, but to expect this level of quality so early, they're really sticking their neck out here, and at the same time, I don't think they really have too much to worry. One of the things that I do want to go over here is this little HUD, though. There isn't much that I can actually decipher at this point. I can't get the resolution any higher, but we have on both sides monitors that are of the same display. Sorry, I'm stuttering here because I'm also trying to watch the video and analyze it. Now, I don't know if they are placeholders for something that's later to come, or if these are actually already in-game and serve a function. The green bar I could only assume could be armor, maybe, and the yellow and blue bars could likely be speed or weapon power or shield. I don't really have much to go on, so like I can't even make out the numbers that are on this stream. So until we know more of what that actually is, it'll be fun to break down what these monitors mean. Plus, since he said I don't think there will be any HUD in the traditional sense of games such as other space games that have HUDs pasted on, because I know he said he wanted the immersion to be the biggest focused. So what these little monitors will show us in the future, we don't know. Plus, that little heads-up display that's right in front of the player character could also relate other information that you need, such as your targeting info, your aiming reticle, your aiming pip, whatever it is you have. So in the meantime, they're pretty lights. Like I said, it can make out some numbers, but not enough to go on anything solid. But it will be fun to decipher later on Thursday when we actually have a chance, if they do have a purpose, or they could just be placeholders and I'm blowing out of my ass. The next ship that Chris showed off was the ever so sexy 300i. I know I have my 350R, so I'm quite excited to see the 350R when I get on Thursday. I was a little disappointed because later on there's one he walks by and I really wanted to see if it looked any different inside. But you get some nice interior views of the 300i here. Again, all unique animations as the character climbs inside. And a much more spacious cockpit than the Aurora, which, frankly, no offense to the Aurora, I like the 300i's presentation a lot more. It feels like you're sitting down into your lair. This is your ship. I'm sorry, I have a big love for the 300i. Again, a very nice heads-up display, very nice interface. Again, I can't really pick apart anything that's on these monitors. Chris doesn't sit down too long to actually go over everything. There is a view that I should be showing now where it's showing top-down, but the only thing that might make sense is the little outlines of the 300i. That could be your armor, or maybe your damage, or it could even just be power systems. I don't know. Not until we get on Thursday and I can go over these with a fine-tooth comb. Not much to go on, but still, it's all eye candy and all something I want to go over. The other interesting note is that this is the business hangar actually that he's showing off. There have been 3 confirmed types of hangars that are going to be released. There's a discount hangar that will be given, I think, freely to any backers before the live stream. I'll have to check my facts. So basically it's a nice rundown, sort of think, backwater garage hangar. I know some people have complained about the term discount hangar, but honestly I like the grimy aspect of a hangar. When I go into a shop or a work place, I kind of expect it to be dirty and grungy, and while most mechanics would rather prefer to keep their place clean, it gives it life. It's, oh, there's an oil spill over there. Oh, hey, oh, geez, that's somebody's laser cannon that's taken apart. It gives the scene life, but we didn't get to see the discount hangar, so what you're seeing right now is actually the business hangar. This is supposed to be, I think, your generic hangar that you get, and it will upgrade in accordance to how many ships you have, or the largest ship in your hangar. So I think if you have a Constellation, you will get the largest version of the business hangar, and then if you have 5 or so ships, you'll get a business hangar that scales up with 5 different slots for those ships. And at a certain point, I do believe it converts over to a deluxe hangar, depending on how much you've pledged. What you will see shortly is pretty much almost like a Tron-like, very Mass Effect suave, pretty hangar. It's a little too bright for my tastes. However, it is still beautiful, and Chris, as usual, he reminds me of Steve Jobs sometimes. He always has something later that he likes to, come out with swinging. He doesn't pull his punches. Here's our first view of the Freelancer. So, crawling inside here, we get a nice beautiful interior look. In fact, I like how the character, as he's walking in, pivots to the side slightly to avoid knocking his shoulders. That's pretty clever. So there's no clipping of the character. But this is a very spacious ship. I'm already getting Serenity vibes from Firefly. So, right again here, not much to go over on the HUD. We don't actually get to see everything. But there's even a toilet in here. I know people have been asking, where are the toilets in these ships? How does one go, poop in space? To which I believe Wingman replied earlier in one of his videos that you have spacesuits for a reason. Ew. But there's a nice little teaser of the Freelancer for you guys. So for those of you who have been wondering what your Freelancer looks like, here you go. Now you too can be your very own Captain Malcolm. Yeah, actually no, wait. Only the man can do that. Which, as far as I still know, people want to bring him on for voice talent in Star Citizen, so spam his Twitter, guys. After Chris exited the Freelancer, though, was a feature shown to us that has not yet been seen. That's a Buggy. Okay, no, wait. We'll get onto the Buggy later. We actually get to see a loadout configurator, or a computer that's in the hangar, and I'm assuming it's probably in the discount and business versions of the hangar as well. But we get to see a little computer where you get to configure your ships in real time. Now, again, I've tried poring over this before when the live stream was just shown, but if you look on the lower portion of this little computer, you can see a few bars as well as information that's shown to the player. Chris doesn't look at it too long, so we don't actually get any specific info, although when he does select some of the blasters, there are again more bars and information showing up. For example, the bearing, I think that's an M5A laser. You can see it's a class 1 something or other on the top 2 corners, and we get to see energy, power, velocity, and damage. So there's no actual number values. So when the game comes out, and I plan to do in-depth analysis for like PvP or PvE, etc., we might have to look into the game files to get proper values for DPS values, what's effective here, what's the range, energy consumption per shot, but we'll figure out in the meantime. But for most users coming in, I do like this approach because it doesn't bombard the player with too much information. I'm a big Dark Souls fan, as some of you guys know, and I think their interface, as much as I love that game, 10 out of 10 A+, it gets a 0 out of 10 when I look at the interface. The numbers are fun. I love them. Once you figure them out, they're great. But for new players coming in to say, like, pretend it's Star Citizen instead of Dark Souls, that's too much. Somebody won't know what this does or what that does. So when they can just look at bars and right off a glance go, oh, hey, you know, look at that bearing. It does a lot of damage, and it, I don't know, I could be wrong here. It looks like a great sniper weapon. Let's try that. You know, it might be much better than saying, okay, this weapon does 536 damage. It fires at a rate of 13.2. What's 13.2? And it has a power consumption of 30.5. Is that kilowatts per hour? Is that megawatts per hour? Is that units per hour?
But I need a nuclear reaction to generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. 1.21 gigawatts!
So, again, I do like this approach, and on Thursday, once the hangar comes out and I get to pour over it, we'll do a nice in-depth analysis of what this computer offers. So again, this is a very impressive little feature. Chris, company, ZIG, nice little curveball that you threw there. I didn't expect something like this. I thought you'd have to go into a menu or, you know, something to tune your ship. And again, with the whole immersion aspect that I know Chris wants to push, that is just clever. And I should have been thinking that he wanted to do something like that. But again, props to you, Chris. Very impressive. Again, after that, we got to see a little bit of the Buggy, and I know it was teased before that we would get some sort of little thing to get around your hangar quick if you had many ships. And knowing that there's some of you who own 50+ ships, and you know who you are, this Buggy might even need a little bit of a turbocharger. It's a cool little feature. It's not fully implemented yet from what I heard. It was thrown in just for this demonstration, so I don't think it will actually be available on Thursday. We might see it later, at a later date when they get it finalized. But yeah, you will get your very own little Buggy to drive around, to tune your ships, or just cruise around like a boss. Actually, as far as I know from what people were trying to do at the live stream, and this is courtesy of Zane, our Space Raptor, people were more focused on trying to get the Buggy to the 2nd floor, at some points either causing it to catapult into the ceiling or fly around chaotically, or just cause other sort of shenanigans. But that is for a later date. So if you see the footage above, there you go. You also get your own little Buggy, so congrats. It does not come with, you know, turbocharger. Sorry about that. Another cool highlight that I really enjoyed was the weapon displays. Now, this is shown twice. It's shown later on, but the above video you should see a preview of some of the weapons that you'll be able to mount. And as on the computer, as Chris was loading them onto that Hornet, this is fairly interesting because I don't know if this is a feature just for this event to show off the weapons, or if you will actually be able to collect, you know, pieces for your ship that you buy in a certain part of your hangar. So either you can just go look at them or maybe tune with them individually, and this is where maybe that tuning aspect comes in with overclocking your weapons or tuning them, etc. Again, there's no names here yet, and I don't know enough of the game to say what any of these are. The only one that stood out for me was a tri-barreled, what looks like a scattergun, maybe. If this is how you are going to be able to tune your weapons too, and again, there's no menus or no screens or nothing of that sort, and you're still playing all the time, this will be interesting. This is almost, they're trying to go the route of Dead Space, where Dead Space constantly had menu screens or that pop up in holographic form. You never left the game. There was no pausing, no lapses in the immersion. So at any point, even though you did pause, it was just, that's it. It's just a hologram. You could be snuck up by a necromorph and stabbed through your face. So again, no weapon tuning or any of that sort visible here, but just seeing this gets me excited because I like messing around with weapons, and if we can make a nuke on a stick type of weapon that, you know, just one-shot massive damage, that's probably OP. They wouldn't let me do that. One final feature that we did get to see was also a Constellation, and we couldn't go in it. Chris showed off the Constellation here in full glory, and as mentioned, unfortunately, at the time that this was done, he said it wasn't yet ready. That could change by Thursday, so those of you who are eagerly waiting to get your Constellation and have parties, in your ship, I would not fret too much, because even if it isn't ready by Thursday, they'll still probably patch it in at one point. So we get to see the Constellation and also a larger view of the hangar. And all in all, for some reason, I'm just really not liking this deluxe hangar. I don't know why. It's too big, maybe? I don't know. I feel too small. There's nothing actually wrong with the game. It gives a huge sense of scale to these ships. And I don't know, for some reason the deluxe hangar just does not ring too well with me. However, that says nothing about the Constellation or any of the ships or the effort that has gone into it, so my view means nothing. Take it with a grain of salt, and if anything, just adore that Constellation and what has been shown to us. Actually, speaking of which, another thing that we did get to see, and again, more surprises, was the Hornet See version. This is a civilian version of the Hornet that, from all likes and purposes, or at least from appearances, looks to be a pretty nifty little cargo runner, maybe with an additional armor, a little higher speed, maybe a drug runner, I don't know, whatever you decide to do with this ship. It's fairly interesting. It's missing its top turret, and there were no weapons on it that were visible. But I'm pretty sure you could change that out in the loadout configurator for whatever kind of Hornet See that you want. Although it probably will be restricted by that top turret if that has been replaced by a cargo hull or expanded cargo hold. I don't think you'd be able to put back in the ball turret. Then again, I could be completely wrong. So we will have to wait and see in the future to see what the Hornet See has in store for us. Or we could just wait until the Hornet brochure comes out, because we all know that's coming out. But yeah, that'll come in due time. So in all, I think this was a very cool hangar presentation. I am very excited to see what the hangar has to offer when we get to see it on Thursday. And if I have only one complaint, it's that I didn't see any sort of shipping crates or interactable objects. I was really hoping to build Fort Kick-Ass, but that doesn't look like... Oh, wait a minute. Depending on how many buggies there are and how many weapons are in the hangar, we could build a fort with buggies and weapons. There we go. Now I know what I'm doing. Although I didn't see any sort of interaction. I'm just spitballing here. So again, to you guys that are looking forward to trying out the hangar app, you should be able to try that on Thursday, so keep your eyes peeled. That'll be on August 29th. I don't know what time it will be ready, but it should be around that time. Do expect some sort of delays, because I'm pretty sure every one of us and our dogs will be downloading the hangar app. So if the server crashes, it's not CIG's fault, it's Time Warner Cable's fault. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wrap up this episode, as this is one of those weeks where I've been just having a really off week. So I apologize that has not been any machinima or anything of the interesting sort. As well, another thing I'd like to address, I didn't get any questions for Ask Dr. Hawk. Although, frankly, if there's no questions to be asked, there's no questions to be asked. So if you guys are interested in submitting a question for Ask Dr. Hawk, you can do so in the comments below, or you can send me an email at starcitizenfm@gmail.com. I plan to try to do something, interesting for when the hangar app comes out, and if not, I will probably live stream the hangar on Twitch TV at Dr. Hawk. You can find me using that handle, and maybe we can go over the hangar app and go over what's interesting, and we can get some people together who have maybe 50 ships, and we can go over all 50 ships that they own. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Again, apologies on the lack of quality and the ums and uns. I did this episode more live than I usually do. I tried to prepare a script and I kept getting overexcited, and I know I'm excited about this. I have no words. My words. I just want to play it right now. So I will see you guys next time, either on Thursday or the following Sunday with Star Citizen FM. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you're interested in subscribing, you can click on the little hawk on the lower left corner. And if you like this video, like it. If you have any feedback for me, leave it in the forum or in the video description below. This is Dr. Hawk signing off. You guys all take care and fly safe.